Alicante, last row of the year. Thought we'd give Jam a run out. Judges from Germany and get his impression of the dog. And it's very important, judges have a huge role to play. They're the safety mechanism, as it were, to stop us from going wrong. A bit like our warrant of fitness. You know, we get so used to mistakes in our own dogs that they become the norm. So we need a judge's opinion to show the dogs so we can understand where we're going wrong and how to fix it. As I say, it's vitally important that we have our judges looked at by an independent person who knows the standard and can tell us where we're going wrong, basically, so that we can keep to the standard. Otherwise we get extremism and everything else. And that's what we want to avoid. We want to stick with the standard without being extreme. And very thorough, touching the dog all over. A little bit excited. nice to have a judge that's taking his time with the dog. You feel like the dog's actually being judged. Keep referring back to the breed standard, look at the dogs, look at the breed standard, and then compare it to the judge's decision, and this is how you learn and you're seeing things. So I think we're just waiting now for champion class. As I said, you know, the judge has got a huge role to play and really dictates the way the breed goes. And his decisions create kennels, destroy kennels, not destroy them, but make them work harder, or should do. You know, just as you would take your car in once a year for a certificate of roadworthiness, we need our judges to tell us when we're going wrong with our dogs, because we can't do it ourselves. Not all the time. For example, you could be driving around in your car for the last year and your lights are a little bit to one side, they're not in the correct position, but you've got used to it. And then they tell you your car's not roadworthy, you have to change your lights. And that's what the judge is doing, hopefully. Letting us know where our mistakes are, what we need to work on. And in general, I think the slow build-up of the BERGER BLANC in Spain has been very good. It's kept things on an even par. We see the explosion in Germany, France, Holland and other countries, and you can see the problems that are occurring there. So, and it's also interesting to note that the breed club in Spain has decided now to do a character test, and they're actually basing the character test on the breed standard about sociability, and I think it's the only breed club in Europe to do so, to actually base a character test on the breeds, on the standard, and that is pretty unique and pretty brave of the Spanish club to go against the trend in the rest of Europe. So, and hopefully that'll work. I think it will. It's a good way to go. Build your character up on sociability, then take it from there. So we're in for best male now. We've got Inxs to take place today. Had Inxs instead. About time he carried his weight. Got to go up against champion male. pugs. Sorry, you're swapping dogs. And female class. As I was saying, the Spanish club is now going to do a character test based on the sociability of the dog. And, I do think it's a good thing. I think it's very brave of the Spanish Kennel Club and the Spanish breeders to go this way. But it has to be the right way. Forget about the working and the guarding as an aspect and concentrate on building up a nice social dog, but then concentrate on the working. Saying, the Spanish Breed Club is not the official breed club. I've decided doing it a character test based on the standard, also that's what I've been told, and that's fantastic. I think it'll be the only breed club in Europe to go in that direction. Everything else has been about working the power of the bite, guarding, instinct, etc. And to actually go with the standard, you know, a social adept dog. We've seen a problem throughout Europe with this, and you know, dogs from the most experienced breeders in the most experienced countries, France, Germany, etc., etc. We all have this problem of shyness with the dog, and that's what it's about. It's about getting rid of it. And I think the breed club in Spain and going in this direction, it's a different direction. Hopefully, will be the right solution. Tremendous amount of enthusiasm for the BERGER BLANCs in Spain. A lot of young Spanish breeders coming onto the scene. A lot of enthusiasm, and hopefully that'll all pay off. Now we've got Grace. I remember her from Montpellier. A bit of a disaster there. She's been back with us now for 9 months, and hopefully the work that's gone into her is going to pay off today. The last few shows have been very good with her. There, but we're just about there with her. Huge improvement. And you know, get that, it's through sociability. She's very ball orientated, working orientated more or less. Only needing to do something, and we've done this through, you know, change her through sociability. And won't be long before she is very, very confident in the ring. I hope, as she says. So we're looking at different breed. characteristic traits to the BERGER BLANC in the ring here, as you can see. But it's a reasonably new race. But the difference is, in their standard, it's allowed to be reserved. That is in the standard. Our standard is sociable. So this dog is behaving exactly to standard, or when it comes to the character. And as I was talking about before, the fact that the Spanish Breed Club is going in this direction to base a character test on the standard sociability, I think is very, very brave of them. But I do think it's the right decision, and it will stand the Spanish breeders and the Spanish BERGER BLANC in the long run in good stead, I feel. It's the only way forward, because everything else has failed so far. Well, Group 1's about to start, and good finish to the year for us, I suppose. Inxs is in the Ring of Honour, just waiting for that to start. And again, you know, the thing about judges is they're vitally important safety valve for the breeder. Otherwise we go the wrong way, and we need good judging. Good judging give good dogs. Good dogs will give a good breed. Trouble is, if we have good judging, it means not as many dogs will get excellent, because the judges judging to the standards.
De los grupos,
and then you don't get the attendance.
Adultos,
so it's a bit of a dilemma, isn't it? To get good judging, it will mean there'll be more dogs not getting excellent. Popular judging, all dogs get excellent, and all breeders walk away happy. So what is the right balance? And that's what it's about, is balance. And you know, everybody wants to be popular. Judges want to be popular. So if they give everybody an excellent, they get invited back, they do club shows, etc., etc. And the breeders are happy, they walk away with their excellence. But it doesn't really benefit anybody. Anyway, we've started.
Pastor alemán de pelo corto. Pastor alemán de pelo largo. Gos d'Atura català. Pastor de Brie negro, Border Collie, antiguo perro de pastor inglés, Shetland Sheepdog, perro lobo de Sarlos, pastor blanco suizo, Australian Cattle Dog y Bouvier de Flandes.
So he's really come along well in Inxs.
En pre-ring deben estar preparados todos los mejores ejemplares de razas del grupo segundo. Vayan acudiendo también los mejores de raza del grupo tercero. Les recordamos a los participantes que los jueces pueden valorar a los perros en el pre-ring. Vayan acudiendo al pre-ring, el Airedale Terrier número 270, Fox Terrier de pelo duro 273, Welsh Terrier 277, Kerry Blue Terrier 278, Ratonero Bodeguero Andaluz 279, Gos Rater Valencià 286, Jack Russell Terrier 289, Kern Terrier 290, Scottish Terrier 295, West Highland White Terrier 296, Bull Terrier estándar 301, Bull Terrier miniatura 312, Staffordshire Bull Terrier 343, American Staffordshire Terrier 410, English Toy Terrier 465 y Yorkshire Terrier 471.
Nice, and Inxs has chosen in the last group here.
El señor Christopher Havig ha hecho una preselección entre los ejemplares mejores de raza del grupo primero, quedándose en ring con el pastor alemán de pelo largo, el Gos d'Atura catalán, Border Collie, pastor blanco suizo, antiguo perro de pastor inglés y Shetland Sheepdog. A continuación les va va a hacer mover en carrusel por el ring.
Just look at a Pasta Blanco running compared to the German Shepherd, the different style there. Very different dogs now, eh? Different style of running, everything. And as the judges hunt to see, those are the three that go through.
Y el Christopher Javi hace una última selección, quedándose con los 3 ejemplares que subirán al podio: el pastor alemán de pelo largo, el Gos Datura y el Border Collie.